Right, who wants to go next?
Ellie, you can go next.
Okay, I went to the cinema and I saw Game Night.
We've also seen
We
Game Night.
have.
I know. Before I talk about Game Night itself, I'd like to say that I went to go and see Shape of Water in the brand new cinema that's opened in Sutton, which is... It's gone from a shithole cinema to a really nice cinema that looks like it should be up in London.
What type of cinema is it?
It's Empire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And they've just redone it. It's got massive screens everywhere showing stuff. They've like overhauled the whole place, putting sofas into the screens and stuff. It's really nice.
What chain did
But-
it used to be? It used to be a different...
It's still Empire.
Oh.
It's still Oh, before that it used to be View.
This isn't important.
Okay.
View?
Oh, sorry.
It's not important, but yeah,
I
sorry.
vaguely remember which one you mean. So.
Yeah, it did used to be a different one. But yeah, so anyway, we went to go and see Shape of Water because they still had a few showings.
Yeah.
But we think they were showing it in the smaller screens because when we got there, the lady said there are only 2 seats left. One is by itself and the other one is half of a sofa, which means that someone had bought a single ticket and gone, I don't want to sit on the chair. I want to share a sofa with a stranger.
That's
Which
weird.
was mind-blowing to us.
So you went for the sofa, right?
No, because there were 3 of us, so we didn't go and see Shape of Water. I'm sorry, Liam, did you miss the bit at the beginning where I said I've seen Game Night?
Yeah, no,
And
but
then
I didn't know
said-
that. You could have seen both.
No, I started the story with, before I did that, this is the reason. What?
Who did you go with?
Sam and Dan.
Nice. And what was Game Night about?
Game Night is about a group of people who have a regular game night, and one of their brother turns back up and tries to do his own game night, and game night gets a whole lot more serious.
Okay.
That's a fair plot summary, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot. It's funnier than I thought it would be because I thought it was just going to be one of those generic comedies where
Can
you
I-
come out and you're like, I laughed, but
Serious question. Did you see a trailer for it before you watched it?
yeah, I knew what the premise was.
Right.
I think this is the only film in recent memory where seeing the trailer doesn't ruin it.
See, I would
In that-
disagree with that.
Yeah, that's
No,
interesting.
here's the thing though. Whatever the trailer shows you, the whole point of the movie is, but is this happening? Right? That's like the premise.
Yeah, I don't think the
So-
plot was spoiled in the trailer.
No, that's what I'm saying is what you can, because everything you see in the trailer, you can be like, well, that looks like someone is actively shooting a gun. But when you see the film, you're like, oh, but is this happening?
Yeah, but I just feel
Do you know
like
what I mean? Like
the
it's hard
trailer,
to it's hard to go on.
the trailer reveals some of the best jokes in the movie. So when those jokes actually
Yeah, but
happen, they're not
I don't
as
count
good.
that as a spoiler. Like knowing a joke. That,
No, it's
to
not.
me, is
No,
not a
but
spoiler.
okay. In a comedy, a joke works, right? The whole way a joke works is through surprise. You expect something, you get something else. It's surprising.
Well,
That's
it's
why it's
surprise,
funny.
it's surprise and context, which is why
Yeah.
some of the jokes were still funny because in the context of the whole scene. But because you've heard the joke before, you don't
less
find
funny.
it as funny.
Exactly.
But see, I disagree. People go and see comedians multiple times.
But they often do different material,
No, that's not true at all. A lot of comedians reuse material.
such as
Can I
Sorry, such as.
yeah.
Oh, let me just break down which comedian I'm talking about. Lots of them. If you go and see comedians, they'll often have new sets built for their main set. But if you go and see a comedian live, you're going to get part of a set you've seen before. That happens.
But I don't go and see comedians more than once.
Well, look,
Like, on the
I
same
will
tour.
go and see. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I've seen.
No,
Like,
yeah, I'm
several
saying
comedians
I'm
several
saying in a
times.
different tour they'll still reuse material. You'll still get some jokes from before.
Not the comedians that I've seen.
Okay, fair enough.
But what
I mean, I can only
what
speak
my-
from personal experience.
What my issue is, well, not issue, because I did enjoy game night, but what I found the problem to be with, remembering the jokes from the trailer is that it kind of took my head out of the movie a couple of times, because I was like, oh, I wonder when that next joke from the trailer is going to come up, because it hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
And that's, entirely my fault as a viewer, but it did kind of distract me a little bit, personally.
No, that's fair enough.
Do you know what I found most surprising about Game Night?
Go on.
What?
Like I went to it because I'm a big Jason Bateman fan, and I also really like Kyle Chandler because I'm a big Friday Night Lights fan.
Yeah.
But I actually think the character that made me laugh the most was Ryan, who was played by Billy Magnussen,
Is that
and
the?
I was not expecting that. The blonde
sort of-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really tickled me.
He did make me laugh,
Yeah, no,
but he was the typical sort of dumb character, wasn't he? That's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
I
what
liked
he's there
it.
for.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, not saying it didn't work, but
I mean, I've personally felt like it all worked. It's not a amazing movie. It's not the best comedy film I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
I've seen other stuff that Jason Bateman's done comedy wise that's not great.
Such as?
What's the one where him and what's-her-face from Ghostbusters and...
Identity theft or something,
Yeah.
or identity thief,
Yeah.
or something like that, yeah.
That one.
I haven't
That
seen
film's
that
not
one
very
yet.
good.
Is it not?
Didn't Jason
No.
Bateman go through like a phase of just doing like not very good comedies for a little while? I feel
I
like
think
there were a
I
few.
think there was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
mean, that's the one I've seen that I definitely was like, we went thinking, oh, Jason Bateman's quite good in comedy films, this will be good, and it wasn't good.
I would recommend Bad Words. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah, he is also good in other comedy films, Liam. I wasn't saying he's bad at comedy.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that was one I wasn't expecting much from, and then I was surprised by.
What's that other comedy we've seen him in recently that was funny? When he's in a wheelchair.
Oh, I think that was called The X, was it? Something like that?
Something
yeah,
like
The X.
It's when he's playing like the douchebag that I find him the funniest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that it on game night?
Possibly. I give Game Night like a 3 out of 5, I think.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
3
I'd
out of
agree with
5.
that too. I don't want to like spoil it, but there is something that happens in the last sort of part of the movie that was a nice surprise. But I
Yeah.
won't say any more than that.
Yeah. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, there is a scene after the credits that we all missed.
Oh, Ellie, did you miss
Yeah.
it too?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, I'm not hugely bummed out because it's not like doing it in a Marvel thing where they actually sort of tie into the
We
universe.
don't know. We didn't see it. It might be doing that.
Well, I feel like they're not setting up
A Marvel
the
movie.
cinematic
There's-
universe of Game Night.
It felt like the end of it, they were setting up a sequel at least.
I think they're leaving the door open to a sequel with that ending.
It felt very much like a setup.
No, I don't think it. I think it was more for
I didn't
comedic
think so.
value than like a definite setup.
Yeah.
Have you seen Game Night? Let us know. Do you think they're setting up a sequel? I don't know.
I don't know.